Yesterday, we started to explore the perils of samsara, the dangers of samsara. The first sutta that we read is the stream of tears, which is illustrative of how long have we wandered in samsara. Every life, when we shed tears, if we collect it and we accumulate it, according to the Buddha, the amount of tears is more than the 4 great oceans in the earth. This is how you can imagine how long have we wandered through samsara, through repeated cycle of life and death. Today, we are going to read the last sutta of this chapter, the stream of blood. While the Blessed One was dwelling at Rajagaha in the bamboo grove, 30 monks from Pawa approached him, all forest dwellers, alms food eaters, rag robe wearers, tree rope users, yet all still with fetters. Having approached, they paid homage to the Blessed One and sat down to one side, and then it occurred to the Blessed One. These 30 monks from Pawa are all forest dwellers, alms food eaters, rag robe wearers, tree rope users, yet all are still with fetters. Let me teach them the Dharma in such a way that while they are sitting in these very seats, their minds will be liberated from the taints by non-clinging. Footnote number 11. Forest dwelling and the rest are among the ascetic practices permitted by the Buddha. On the 10 fetters, see page 374-75, SPK, the commentary, says that some among them were stream enterers, some once returners, and some non-returners. None were worldlings, and none were arahants. So these are the variety of the 30 monks. Footnote number 12. This means the attainment of arahantship. This here, the taints of clinging, means the attainment of arahantship. Okay, Sister Jolene, would you like to continue?
Morning, brother and sister. Then the Blessed One addressed these monks thus, monks. Venerable Sir, those monks replied. The Blessed One said this, monks, this samsara is without discoverable beginning. At first point, it's not discerned of being roaming and wandering on, hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. What do you think, monks? Which is more, the stream of blood that you have shed when you were beheaded as you roamed and wandered through this long course, these or the water in the 4 great oceans? As we understand the Dharma taught by the Blessed One, Venerable Sir, the stream of blood that we have shed when we were beheaded as we roamed and wandered through this long course, this alone is more than water in the 4 great oceans.
Thanks, Sister Jolene. Hey, Sister Singhui, would you like to continue?
Good, monks. It is good that you understand the Dharma taught by me in such a way. The stream of blood that you have shed as you roamed and wandered through this long course. This alone is more than the water in the 4 great oceans. For a long time, monks, you have been counts, and when, as counts, you were beheaded. The stream of blood that you shed is greater than the waters in the 4 great oceans. For a long time, you have been buffalo, sheep, goats, deer, chickens, and pigs. For a long time, you have been arrested as burglars, highwaymen, and adulterers. And when you were beheaded, the stream of blood that you shed is greater than the water in the 4 great oceans. For what reason? Because, monks, this samsara is without discoverable beginning. A first point is not discerned of beings roaming and wandering on, hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. For such a long time, monks, you have experienced suffering, anguish, and disaster, and swelled the cemetery. It is enough to become disenchanted with all formations, enough to become dispassionate towards them, enough to be liberated from them. This is what the Blessed Ones say. Elated, those monks delighted in the Blessed One's statement, and while this exposition was being spoken, the minds of the 30 monks from Pava were liberated from the taints by non-clinging. Samyutta Nigara 15, 13.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thanks, Sister Xinghui. As if the previous sutta, the amount of tears we shed, is not powerful enough. Now the Buddha uses blood instead of water. The amount of blood when we were beheaded as we roam through this samsara, is it more than the water in the 4 great oceans? Yes. The monks replied, yes, it is our blood that we have shed as we wandered through is more than the water in the 4 great oceans. And for a long time, we have been buffalo, sheep, goats, deer, chickens, and pigs. For a long time, we have been arrested as burglars, highwaymen, adulterers. What is that? What is highwaymen? Highwaymen, a man typically on horseback who held up travelers at gunpoint in order to rob them. So, another word for robbers. But this one using a horse. Adulterers, and when we were caught, when we were beheaded, the stream of blood that we shed is greater than the water in the 4 great oceans. And here we can see another skillful quality by the Buddha. When someone approached the Buddha, these 30 monks, the Buddha knows what teaching, which teaching that will lead them to further progress. In this case, lead them to attainment of arahantship. Immediately after listening to this, liberated from the taints by non-clinging. The Buddha knows which level they are at, and then with this final push, these 30 monks were liberated from the taints by non-clinging. And with that, we finish this chapter 6 of the book. Next time, we are going to continue with chapter 7, the path to liberation. Now we have a little bit of time. It's been a while since some of you do the sharing, or I ask, what do you guys think? So we are 6 chapters in. How do you like the book so far? Okay, let me arrow someone. Let's start with Sister Sister Xinghui.
Thank you, Marcel, for leading us. Because this book is like new to me as well, so it is interesting to actually get to know all these little suttas. Yeah, many of which I've heard for the very first time. Like the very last one when we were reading, I mean, it's like in this lifetime, I was just wondering like how much blood can I shed as a human? You know, unless I get injured, I get cut. You know, but I cannot imagine until the point that they mentioned about, you know, in previous life you have been like animals, you know, you might be beheaded because of other, you know, whatever you have committed. And then I was like, oh, okay. It never occurred to me that, yeah, I might be, you know, beings of other realms. And I think if it's now that we know how animals are being treated, and yeah, I think it's very scary and painful, you know, having to go through that. Yeah, and it, yeah, so it has been like many lifetimes, and it's yeah, scary enough lah, you know, like awakening for us. Yeah, if we don't want to suffer that, then, you know, we better you know, practice wholesome deeds so we don't have to go through those. Yeah, so I thought it's very good. Yeah, thank you.
So after reading this sutta, Sister Xinghui is liberated by the taints of non-clinging. Anyway, thanks for the sharing, Sister Xinghui.
Long way to go, I think. Yeah, like you say, it's very hard to yesterday the four immeasurables, right? To treat everything equally, equanimity. I think that is really hard. Yeah, so that's why it's very hard to attain. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say when, I just say afterwards. Okay, thanks for the sharing. Okay, how about Sister Jolene? How do you find the book?
Sorry, bro, because I was not been attending for some time.
Okay.
But I think just from the last paragraph itself, it just make us realize the precious of this human life, the preciousness, because we don't know if we can be a human in our next life. And there are some minimal practice we need to ensure and I mean, that's according to the sutra. If we want to ensure a human life in our next life, we need to practice the 10 wholesome action. We need to take the 5 precepts. So as a minimal practitioner, I think if we can do that, actually is our basic practices that we keep in our mind. Even we cannot attain our hardship, even we cannot attain a non-returner status, but at least we have a human life to continue to practice. And I think that is at least we keep in our mind, and this para reminds me of that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks for the sharing, Sister Jolene.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Sister Aikim? What do you think of the book so far?
After reading all these chapters, especially the last few ones, I find that we humans are very pathetic, you know. If we keep practicing, but we cannot focus so much that as much as we want, then how are we going to get out of the samsara? I don't know where's the ending. So it's like a little discouraging sometimes.
Oh, well, I think, yeah, it's good to firstly realize that all of us are in a not in a good state. Yeah, well, after realizing that, then we will probably would spur us to practice even more. Yeah, and maybe like Sister Xinghui, you will be liberated by the taints of non-clinging. But it's just a question of when.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks for the sharing, Sister Akim. And how about Sister Choi Kwan?
Well, the chapter 5, the one on the good rebirth, hit me the most, and it was so coincidental. I currently am attending silver-based talk 6-session talk at the Buddhist Fellowship, and she taught us about meaningful life and beautiful death. And you go through all this. It's good that I read about this and before that, so I can connect them. And she gave a few sutta that we should read, and she taught us how to be prepared to prepare for our next life, whatever we can, and also to help others who is passing on, people who are on their last journey, how to make them peaceful, so that even if they are of a different religion, we can still make them be peaceful and happy and comfortable before they pass on. So in a way, it's good karma as well. And then for ourselves, we have to practice all the Four Noble Truth, Eightfold Path and all this. And then to be mindful and all this, so that we can, and at our last moment too, we have to be able to remind ourselves of what good deeds we have done, what are the happy moments, so that we can have a good rebirth. And this last part today that we read is also so that it really strengthened my determination for an aspiration for a better rebirth. Yeah. So it's really good. Every time I read some of the book, and I always encounter something from the Bhante or Venerable that coincide with the same thing. Even the Fridays one when I listen to the Bhante from Malaysia, some of the point always coincide. So it's actually strengthened my learning and my beliefs. Yeah. So thank you for all the readings. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yeah, very happy to hear that. Yeah, it's, I think for me it's the same. It's reaffirming to firstly read the sutta, and then when we listen to other Bantes, it helps to reinforce the concepts in us. Yeah. To me, that's very reaffirming too. And different chapters resonates with different people. So Sister Chekon likes chapter 5, yeah, which is good. So very happy to hear that you enjoy the book and you find it helpful. Thanks for the sharing, Sister Chekon. Okay, how about Sister Saikang?
Wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, it's so nice of Bhikkhu Bodhi to put all the different suttas into a book, and so we can get in touch with all the different suttas. Some, like what Sister Singwei said, we have heard before, but we hear again. Why? Yeah, so that it strengthens our right view. So the Buddha actually is teaching us the Noble Eightfold Path, and the first thing to start with is the right view. So don't be disheartened, Sister Aiki. It's not so easy to become Arahant. But we have to start somewhere. So starting with the right view, then we put into our daily practices. And yeah, slowly, like we practice, don't think of the results, I would say. Just continue to plant wholesome seeds, like what Sister Choi Kwan mentioned. Just do whatever you can. And during the last retreat I shared is the bringing of death to your awareness. Always remind yourself that anytime you can die. So you have to live your life fully at the present moment. So you don't waste time, and then you are so you will not slacken. Yeah. So just keep reminding yourself. And this book is so nicely planned, like introduction to you, who is the Buddha first, and all the suttas, and then teaching you at first how to have a fortunate birth, how can we have a better life and all that. Then after that, deepening your perspective, and then now we are moving on to, not, you don't think about your good rebirth. Now you have to
in this life, how do you liberate yourself? We can do it. Yeah, because so long as we have the 5 aggregates, we have your 6th sense. This is where you should work hard on every day, every moment, when thought arise. So if wholesome thought arise, encourage this wholesome thought to grow. And then wholesome thought that has not arisen, you have to practice metta, spread loving kindness, wishing everybody to be well and happy. You see somebody in pain, you practice your compassion. So it's putting Dharma practice into daily life that is most important. And also because we read the book, so we have all this knowledge of, what are the hindrances that are obstructing me? Why do I still cling? Because of sensual desire, then because of ill will and all that. And what are the counters? How to work with it? So it's just so beautiful, Buddha and Buddhism and the Dharma. Look at yourself, reflect on yourself, don't look at others, and slowly we will progress in the correct path towards liberation. The aim of the day is to be liberated from defilements. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for coming every day to practice together. I think that is very helpful and very wholesome for us to start a day. To have Dharma with us to start the day. It's a blessing. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And like Sister Saikyang mentioned, Deepica Bodhi made this book very systematic until this chapter, the last chapter, is like an appetizer. Show you the reason why we have been wandering this samsara and why we need to practice, and then how exactly to practice, which is read on to find out the next chapter. Okay, thanks a lot for the sharing, Sister Saikyang. And Brother Hoji, would you like to share as well? You can do it in Chinese if you want. Go ahead.
谢谢马笑。读了这本书，你的读的这些书，我更了解佛法。希望这一生做人，希望不要堕入三恶道，最重要的。希望你再 continue 下去了，没什么。OK， 谢谢你。
Okay. 谢谢 Brother Hoji. I will ask Saikyang to translate for me later. Okay. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. Let's do a dedication. 厌消三障诸烦恼，厌的智慧真明了，不厌追章悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。
Marcel, we haven't heard from Sister Craig.
Oh, okay. Let me do the closing statement first. Till we meet again, we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a discoverable Sunday ahead. And Sister Craig, if you'd like to share.
Actually, I got nothing to share.
Okay.
Because I didn't read the book, no, and then I only listen to what you're reading every morning. That's all.
So when you listen to us, do you like gain anything?
More or less. More or less.
More or less. Okay, not bad, not bad. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Sister Quack, your presence is also very important for the group to keep us going.
That's why some of them last time with Shifu that time, I met them that day in Kuomingsan. And they said, oh, how come you still sitting there? I say, he say, yeah, I know, Sai Kiang, they always, call me and ask me to attend. Then I say, they want my presence, I think that.
Yes, yes, yes. It is good. It is good to put your time and effort every morning to log in to listen to the words of the Buddha. Yeah. It is good to plant wholesome seeds in your mind. Yeah. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Even Billy also call me. That's why I turn in again. I turn on again.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Sister Craig, and thanks everyone for the heartwarming sharing. See you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Bye bye.
Marcel, Brother
Yes.
Hop G actually said, ask you to continue with this sharing because it's beneficial for us, beneficial for everybody. And for him himself, he also wished for a fortunate rebirth and hopefully not to be born in the lower realms, which I'm sure all of us here, so long as we keep the 5 precepts and we do the 10 wholesome deeds, we all can have a good and better rebirth. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, sis, I would like to add.
You last, Sai Kiang.
By having connection like this, it helps in our next life because we want to be bonded with wholesome mind. And when you die, you have wholesome mind, you connect to all the wholesome beings, and there's higher chance that you have a better rebirth as well. So this connection is very important.
Yeah.
To set the seeds with you at your death point. So keep this going, it's so important. It will lead you to a more peaceful death as well.
Yes, maybe next life we will all ordain together.
Yeah, we are all connected in a previous life,
Yes,
some
yes.
way.
Mm.
And that's why we connect this way.
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very
Because,
precious.
I hear some of the Marambos, they always say that this interconnectedness, or the bringing of us together, we have been practicing together
Yeah.
for many, many lifetimes already.
Yes.
Yeah. And we should continue with the practicing of the Buddha. Yeah. And the Dharma.
And
And this-
also, maybe here it says that we have been pigs, we have been animals, but you also don't forget, we also have been ordained before, maybe in our past.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not kidding you. I believe in that.
Mm.
We've been ordained before, but maybe
Yeah.
somehow we kind of like regress. So we have a chance. Okay.
Yeah. Let's move
Alright.
on with diligence.
Correct. And positive attitude,
Yes,
a positive mindset will
Correct.
be there. Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank you.
before in the previous lives we failed as a monastics. That's why we're still
Maybe
here.
we regress our ethical conduct, you know. 那300个条例我们不够坚持，That's why 我们现在只有5条，我们坚持10条也做得到，那就没事了。OK， 加油！
Yeah. Thank
阿弥
you.
陀
Very good.
佛，
Thanks everyone.
阿弥陀佛，
Bye bye.
拜
Bye bye.
You. Bye bye.
拜。